The Physiology of Drunk Driving, Visual Acuity, Motor Control, and Reaction Time, Part 3. The various levels of drunkenness. Although everyone reacts to alcohol differently, there are certain generalized mental and physical symptoms that can be connected to various levels of intoxication. Here, using blood alcohol content as a gauge of intoxication, we describe the various levels of alcohol intoxication and their effects. Remember that a person's BAC is not always based on how much alcohol they have ingested. Your age, weight, emotional state, prior alcohol use, food intake, and genetics all affect how much alcohol enters your bloodstream and how you react to it. Having a general notion of how your body will respond and change as you drink, though, can be helpful. Let's examine a time frame for average alcohol usage. First drink, BAC 0.02%. You might believe that one drink won't influence your ability to drive, but studies show that even a BAC of 0.02% can impair driving. You'll feel more at ease and find it tougher to concentrate shortly after having your first drink. BAC 0.02%. When their BAC is 0.02% or higher, most people eyesight that is slightly hindered, making it difficult to track and locate objects, a shift in attitude, mild impairment of judgment and reasoning, having trouble concentrating on a task. 0.05% BAC is the increased risk threshold. You will start to feel the effects of alcohol after your blood alcohol content reaches 0.05%. Most people discover that they feel extremely at ease, joyful, and more sociable than usual at this level. BAC 0.05%. At this state of intoxication, alcohol has the following physical and mental effects: a further deterioration in judgment, awareness, and logic, physical coordination issues, longer response times, further vision loss that includes blurred vision and diminished light sensitivity, numb senses, over-the-top behavior. As you can see, even before you exceed the legal BAC limit, your ability to drive safely might be considerably reduced. The permitted limit, BAC 0.08%. For drivers over 21, a blood alcohol content, BAC, of 0.08% or higher exceeds the legal limit for driving. A lower restriction often applies to business drivers and drivers who are under 21. Most people become incredibly talkative and energetic at 0.08% BAC. You will also find it challenging to concentrate and digest information. It will also be more difficult to complete physical duties efficiently. BAC 0.08%. When you're this drunk, you can anticipate having trouble following through on numerous actions at once, considerably faster reaction time, disconnection from your surroundings can make it difficult to manage your speed while driving, excessive self-assurance and a propensity for risky actions, significant shortcomings in judgment, memory, and focus, impaired sensory processing, slurred speech, and poor balance, significant visual impairment. Above the limit, BAC, 0.10%. The effects of alcohol on the body and mind are much more obvious over the legal limit of 0.08%. A BAC of 0.10% results in extremely poor coordination, slurred speech, and total loss of inhibitions in the user. It's frightening to think that so many people still aren't aware of their intoxication at this point. BAC 0.10%. If your BAC is 0.10%, you will experience riskily sped up reaction time, severe impairment of judgment and focus, significant difficulties driving your car, including an inability to stay in your lane and problems with your brakes. Area of high danger, 0.15 BAC. Your impairment in vision, judgment, focus, and motor skills will get worse as your BAC rises. BAC 0.15%. At 0.15%, you won't be able to drive or think coherently at all for the following reasons: loss of all or nearly all muscular control, vomiting, nausea, and a sharp drop in body temperature, a potentially catastrophic reduction in respiration and heart rate, extreme perplexity, total or almost total separation from your immediate environment, being incapable of recognizing persons, circumstances, and objects. BAC above 0.15%. Blood alcohol levels beyond 0.15% are exceedingly risky and frequently fatal. Beyond this point, Most people can't interact with the environment around them in any meaningful or sensible ways. What would occur if your BAC kept increasing? BAC of 0.20% and above. You won't be able to regulate your body and will be overcome with sleepiness with a BAC of 0.20%. You will become unconscious and run the risk of going into a coma at a BAC of 0.30%. At 0.40%, your heart rate will be erratic and your breathing will be inhibited to a life-threatening degree. Your respiration and heartbeat will be so compromised at 0.50% that alcohol poisoning is likely to result in death. Contrary to what many people tragically believe, hitting a BAC of 0.40% or 0.50% if you are not drinking sensibly is not really difficult. A man weighing 150 pounds would need to consume 12 standard beers over the course of 2 hours to obtain a BAC of 0.50%. Due to wild gatherings and peer pressure, this is simple to do and has occurred frequently.